down to South Carolina where they had a house and a job and a business set up. And that happened. Burned up in a fire. Scary, but true. Every bit of this is the truth. After 25 years of this helping life, seeing and living stories being put together by media, and I involved with some of it, I was an only child, so like if a news station would come down to the fire company and say, hey, we're doing this news report. Do you have any information you can put in? Sure. Let me see how you put this news report together too while I'm at it. No problem. Hang out. And I did. So I saw a lot. I actually got a lot of friends that way. But I was peaceful with it. And all their secrets I kept. All the secrets of up there I kept. The only thing that I'm putting out there in stories and movies and everything are what I have permission to put out there. If I call the Secret Service up and say, hey, listen, can you give me a permission slip to do an audition for a president? It's just for audition and movie purposes, and they send me one, then I'm allowed to do it. No matter what some little jamoke says in a courthouse saying, hey, we got this video of this saying this and this and this. Well, good luck to you. Call the Secret Service and see if I have permission to do it. That's how I would be on an authoritative measure. The ozone depletion, the radon detector, smoke-filled gas atmosphere. Oh, this is interesting because this is the truth. There was so many mountain fires up there and miles and miles and miles of mountain fire in August time, September, October, because all the leaves fall in the mountains. There were so many mountain fires that we traveled to be able to see the distance where your eye can see. Tried to get out of that smoke-filled area because every town, the mountains, like this mountain went here, and then there was a little valley, and then there was another mountain. So in this little valley, there was little towns and roads that go over it. And then once in a while, a road would go over the mountain and connect into them little towns. All that had to be gone. But this smoke went all the way to the New Jersey beaches. And I had some video of how dense this smoke was, even on a New Jersey beach from the Centralia mine fire. Well, what you're not thinking of is the Centralia mine fire smoke could be seen from satellites around the world. News stations from around the world are looking at this atmosphere saying, hey, United States of America, what's going on over there? Well, for 25 years, we tried to keep a secret. Well, it didn't work too well. Anyway, the Globe got involved. And I had to deal with that too. Seeing it, questioning it, the global threat, I decided to write movie scripts, and I have hundreds of movie titles, individual movie titles that no movie star anywhere in the globe has ever heard of. A lot of it, never heard of, because I lived it. It is that simple of my life. The corrections of law enforcement, courts, Department of Justice, and military are as easy as a loud music hall. Just let me know. Any incarceration to my life would completely destroy a complete business operator and owner, family man, church man, a complete help to continuing trying the criminals in court, not me, and would totally disrupt a life that I fought so hard to do the right thing for all the time. I've learned over these last couple of months from February till now to properly make corrections, which I'll get to in a minute. Single movie titles, ideas, and stories that will never be and has never been in any movie, because this is a one-in-a-history global event, as I spoke about before, a 25-year event that every country was involved in at some point. Some visiting that area where I was, still living in that area when I left to make sure that fire was out and it was not a global threat. When government and security of other countries visited to confirm that threat that no one caused, more visits and secrets than even the White House had. The White House was actually calling up the state of Pennsylvania, saying, hey, listen, you know, if the Chinese government's up there inspecting Pennsylvania Centralia mine fire, have them give us a call. Of course, they did communicate with national security before they got here. That kind of thing. This is a scary thought, but very true. Hypnosis clinics, the highest health insurance claim in the state of Pennsylvania at one point of this fire, because of trauma, secrets, and that I believe I may have been a victim of, where I now have to prove identity theft. And what I did was, through my workplace, it's a very good thing to be able to work in this is privilege. I understand privileges of work, privilege to pay tax. I'm all legal. I want you to take a very close look at what that says next to FedEx. I joined an identity protection plan, and I pay for it. I joined. A legal plan. I pay for it. That legal plan helps me with estate planning, licensing, living conditions, all kinds of things. We have an employee assistance program. I can call an 800 number and say, listen, I need a nurse. I feel like something's wrong. They'll put me on directly right to a doctor or nurse and go through my symptoms and see if I need what type of health person I should go see. Employee assistance program. I can ask them any question about anything, and they'll research it and give me an answer. Very beneficial in my life right now. Very. I have made correction points in my life probably more than a Department of Justice hearing would make on this. I'm not exaggerating. I've done some extensive background to prevent this from ever happening again. So please dismiss, overturn, or drop this case so I can continue my responsible and responsibilities of an American citizen life. I felt at some point that this was a hoax. And this was before even thinking and pulling up all my information that I could possibly pull up back in how this happened in 2017, or getting the initial reports, any complaints that were ever against me, which barely any. So it wasn't too hard to pull them up. I want to show you this. This is why I still think it's a hoax to this day, or think every one of yous are being hoaxed and just using my identity to do it. which, by the way, that identity theft protection program is already at work. I got 3 complaints this year of people trying to use and sign on my email from Norway. Other countries, like, I don't know how they got my information, but somehow there's one person in Norway that did it twice that signed on to my email. I have no idea. There was another country involved, but they wouldn't say what country it was, but they said it wasn't. They got an identity from another country, but it was somebody here in Tennessee that actually was trying to hack several things in my life. My bank account. I could show you all the reports of my bank account that I had for 5 years. I could log on to my phone app, the bank. It'll say, okay, your balance on a Sunday afternoon, it'll say your balance is $917. I'll call a taxi cab up, I'll go to the bank, I'll press, check balance, print the receipt out. I print the receipt out, it says $868. This has been 5 years. This identity protection program is going to solve a lot of these problems. Hopefully, when you dismiss this case or overturn the charges, you even let my lawyer give him the respect and give him the rights to change my name to Robert Spears at spiritbusstores.com and let me get full changes of everything, social security card, just everything, driver's license, identity, everything to do with it. It needs to be done because there's a whole thing that just keeps coming up every time I try to do banking or some emails. It's just crazy what they did. But through the time I've been here 5 or 6 years in the same residence. I spent about 3 years alone here, completely alone, and then about 2 years renting my other bedroom out and having a roommate. It was nice. Some of them were pretty nice. Some of them, it's just like a business. You have to take it as it is because everybody's different. But this guy, wait till you see this. I want you to see his driver's license. You see the signature on that? I want you to see his social security card. You see the signature on that? You see the numbers on that? Let me read them back to you. 60123, which if you add them two together, it's a 5. 6665. And he was here from December to May until I got him evicted because of criminal intent and damage to his property. Highlight it in yellow. My inmate processing paperwork. Number 606461. Where 1 equals 5. His social security number is 601256665. 60. 3 6's in it. 1 in it. Almost like it's the same thing. Well, what gets me was not that none of that was signed on his part. We're not done. Somebody had notified me about this as well. Now, if you use the characters as numbers over here, like R being the 18th character of the alphabet, E being a 5, you see where I'm going with this? 661456. Now wait, this is not the United States government that does this courtroom. I can guarantee that. And I'm sure you can too, Judge. Now this is amazing. And I have a little bit of story to tell you about this. This is the ending, what I'm going to show you. You see this next to my finger? The yellow highlighted information. You see where this is from PennDOT? From a magistrate in Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania, saying that a violation of 6 0416 came into play that I owed $128 when I was forced to leave Pennsylvania. I'm not happy about this. What this person did was, you see this top here? He put an indefinite suspension on my license for $128. It's costing me over $10,000 and 5 years of driving when I had a very successful 30-year CDL license. Paid for every step of that license for 30 years. Paid for every physical, every 2 years. Every DOT physical. And this guy puts an indefinite suspension on my license for $128. Overzealous, I would take it. Overzealous is what I would say. I'm not done. Now, I got to Tennessee. I've driven for almost a year and a half. I got pulled over in about a June. And they said, your license is suspended. I said, no, it's not. It expires in October. I said, look, I have it right here. It says it expires in October. They said, no, your license is suspended. I said, no, my license is not suspended. I've driven for a company. I drive for a company right now that ran my license and it shows no suspension. I'm driving CDL truck. And he said, well, guess what? He said, it's under suspension. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you a fine, and since it seems like you don't know about it, we're just going to give you a light duty penalty cost because of it. It cost me maybe about $200 or $300 in fines of Tennessee for driving on the roadways of Tennessee. I came home, I parked my truck, I never drove it again. Since 2017, was it? I believe that's what it was. Anyway, and then I started fighting to find out all this information, and they wouldn't even give it to me up there because the records were sealed because of Centralia mine fire. This was a magistrate in the Centralia mine fire, and the only way I could get these records unsealed was after the fire was out. Good thing the fire was out, and they declared it out in 2017, 2018. I was able to then fight them and start getting some of this information on what the heck yous are talking about. I lost my license for $128. I went through this complete procedure and completely went through my Pennsylvania driver's history, every company I'd driven for, and I wanted to know where the suspension was applied. They said, well, the suspension wasn't really applied in 2016. We applied that in 2017 something. And you paid for that too, by the way. I checked all the court costs. I paid for that. Instead of sending me a financial disposition and attempt to locate me to pay off the $128, they just put a suspension on my license and waited till I was pulled over, or waited till I went to try to renew my license. Overzealous. But caused $10,000 in damage and 5 years off my license that I could not drive. I had to pay thousands of dollars a year for taxi cabs, and I'm still doing that because I might not have that here. I applied for the CDL program to retake my test. Okay, I fought this for 3-4 years. I had magistrates tell me, don't even go through it. Just go retake your test. All right, fine. I'll pay off everything and I'll go retake my test like a law-abiding citizen would do. I went and I started studying for the test. I got the book in there. I studied for all the permitting tests. I was online pulling up many, what do they call them, pre-tests that you could study, from the study groups and things. So I know the book inside and out. And I've driven for 25 years, so I'm pretty adaptive to understanding the book. State of Tennessee is telling me that I have to retake my CDL. I said, okay, I will. State of Pennsylvania says is all you have to do is pay us everything you owe us and then send your license back up here and then pay about $3,000-4,000 to fly up here without a vehicle, come to Harrisburg, and then we might give you a duplicate of an expired license because we can't give you a renewal of your license, even though you can renew it up to 5 years. We can't give you a renewal because now you have a state of Tennessee address. And unless you have some kind of credentials of something else, we're not going to be able to do that. State of Tennessee said, well, you have to retake your test because, you know, you live in Tennessee. Your ID's in Tennessee. All your information's Tennessee. So we can't get you a Pennsylvania license, even if you want to renew it, even if it is first page in the book. First page in the Tennessee CDL book says, if you have a Class A license from out of state, you can take it over here to the DMV and they'll renew an out-of-state CDLA license with you physically in the building for $10. That's in the first page of the CDL book. That's not an option for me, apparently. Here's the entire PennDOT, and I got all the printouts from everything. Here's the entire PennDOT information. Now I'm going to show this to you as close as I possibly can on the 4 criteria. 4 criteria. There is a citation active with Port Carbon District Court. You can call them, and this is the citation number. They will need to send us a release form of that ticket has been resolved. I have that. You will need to pay $184 restoration fee. You may pay your restoration fee instantly via our website with this link. You will need to be cleared from the National Driver Registry by the state of Tennessee. They may be contacted at this number. Once all of these steps are completed, you may transfer your license back to our state. I don't know about all you people, but being forced out of an area of Centralia mine fire and being as legal as I was all my life and helpful all my life to my country and everybody in my communities, I have a bit of a problem paying $10,000 in fees and costs for $128, which I was forced to leave and leave a lot of paperwork and everything there that I couldn't even go through. I don't know how you think that this person shouldn't be addressed as possibly criminal. And then all these numbers match up to dates, the license, the inmate number, the social security guy of this guy that shows up as my roommate, destroys the place, breaks the blinds 2 different places, damages the walls, never swept or cleaned the floor from December to May. There was hundreds of food containers in there. And I got several police reports on him for some of his activities and actions. I still don't have my license. I called a lawyer from the Laurel Referral Program. I called several of them actually in the last couple of years. Some they just tell you can't do nothing. Too much is involved. Some they'll tell you we'll see if we can do something and help you this or help you that. Well, I got another lawyer just within the last month, and she had me send all of the paperwork to her on my license and what my license detail with. Even my enrollment at Miller Moak College, my new DOT physical card, which they gave me a physical card. They recognize that I have a CDL. They just don't recognize that it's valid. Very heart-wrenching. Please don't be like this overzealous magistrate and cause this many problems over something like a $128 fine. Applying for a gun permit that I already have. That can destroy my future and my life. because my goal is to get my license back in CDL and then drive for armored truck services. The pay is high, the benefits are great, and the stress level of the work is very comfortable. That I can really gain a living respect and gain very good in my life to be stable and not worry about being broken homeless or hurt by some criminals or people that want to hack into your life because you have such a clean background or clean criminal history or a clean, financial history, clean credit report. I'm the victim. I'm not the enemy of you. I'm not the criminal. And that's a fact. I want to move on here and end this so I don't take up any more time, because I definitely am going to have to pay all these court costs for every one of you being here today. For what reason? Because something was submitted, and I can't believe that the court system doesn't have it set up to go and find the people that submitted it and check their background. Because I guarantee you, if a criminal came into the police station and I was the dispatcher and he says, listen, this person harassed me, I want to file harassment charges. Okay, no problem, give me your information, no problem. And I pull up on a screen and see this guy filed several false police reports. Okay, give me a couple of days and then get back to me. And he leaves the police station. Do you think I'd file a harassment report against him? No, I wouldn't. Absolutely not. I'd put a little case file together and send an officer or a sheriff over to get him. By the way, I didn't know what they're calling themselves that were here. Tennessee Highway Patrol. Came here to do Hamilton County Sheriff's job in this arrest. I've had the FBI here. People stating they're the FBI anyway, with FBI badges, asking me about a military base in Missouri. I had the Secret Service here. I had dozens of Chattanooga police officers here, checking and confirming a lot of things. My identity, who I was, any complaint or report, they come out. Even wellness checks from the Department of, the State Department in Washington, D.C. They sent officers here to do a wellness check on me. We haven't heard from them in, a couple months. What's going on, with him? They come knocking on my door. Are you okay? Yeah, why? The State Department just wanted to verify that your health is good, you're okay, everything's okay. Yeah, I'm completely